This piece was composed as a result of having read a short story that had been written by a co-worker of mine when we both worked together at a camp in upstate New York, Camp Madison Felicia to be precise, and that was in Peekskill, New York, and we both worked as counselors in training. And he showed me this story, which was barely 2 pages long. I read it in no time flat, and it was one of the most effective and touching stories I had ever read. It was concise and extremely effective. And it was about a cat who had survived his master, who had just died and was a famous band leader. Well, in the story, the cat Curtis simply has the cat crying, shedding tears. In the poem, however, I have the cat. I actually rub out the little beastie. I whack the cat. Anyway, here it is. It's for Ksusha the Cat, for Nicky Cat, for Angel Butt, and for Leo Cat. The music fades, the lights draw low, the swelling din that must subside, with joyous music finally stopped. It is the day that the master died. The studio lights fill every nook, except for the chair where the master sat. The last light finally reveals the truth. In that seat, there now sits a cat. Not just any cat, but the dearest friend who the master told his secrets to. This stoic, furry, special guest, all ready for his interview. The announcer steps to the front in haste, impeccably groomed and nattily dressed. Apparently combed with buttered toast, he leers with contempt at his special guest. No friends nor family of any kind, so that his work might carry on. No successor to this calling able to create such joy with his baton. This self-centered fuzzball seated here, who alone had known the master's care. This useless postule always with him, at his side always, everywhere. Nothing to give and nothing to lose, nothing to gain, what an awful case. The master's secrets in this creature's keeping, gone forever, a terrible case. He feels not the slightest tinge of sadness, no grief shows on his whiskered face. The master's gift in this cat's keeping, gone forever, what a huge disgrace. As old Cement Head ends his show, not the slightest noise does the kitty make. The lights were dimmed, the silence fell, as the master's cat stays wide awake. The banging of chairs, the clanging of props, the master's theme would long subside. When they arrived at the master's seat, they found that the cat indeed had died. Drenched with grief, still wet with tears, this lifeless fuzzball had finally spoken. In life the creature could ill express that the dam had burst, his heart had broken. From the torture of inconsolable loss that the wretched human heart can't see, to the still wet teardrops on the master's seat, the master's cat was finally free. Those fading lights, the far-off strains, the din that would at last subside, but the small sick heart concealed from view. This day the master's cat has died. The dying creature could not describe the music he'd heard and the places he'd been, but his furry corpse will indeed attest of fathomless grief churning deep within, that cannot be heard nor understood, for the priceless love dwells deep inside. The bond between these kindred souls lives on even after both have died.